The story that you keep repeating is the very thing that is keeping you stuck. The story that you keep repeating is the very thing that is keeping you stuck. Think about it. When you're telling a story, when you're talking about an event, some trauma that happened to you, you're telling it through your lens, through your biased perspective, because of course, right? You want the people that you surround yourself with to believe you and to be on your side, right? But here's the hard truth. The more you continue to tell that story, the more you continue to reinforce your perspective and your point and the fact that you are right, the more that you are reinforcing those neural pathways in your brain to relive that moment. So instead of moving forward, instead of moving through it, you are actively reliving it. And every time you retell that story, you're keeping yourself stuck. That doesn't mean you don't get to process what happened. That doesn't mean you get to spiritually bypass yourself and pretend that what happened didn't happen, right? Maybe pick one or two trusted people in your circle that you can vent to, right, about it and really get your feelings out and get everything out, right? So after you've given yourself some space and some grace to really process what happened and to feel your feelings, right? That's when the shift happens. The shift happens when you get curious, when you start to question, okay, that happened, but what's the lesson here? That happened, but how do I want to move forward? How can I show up differently in this situation next time it happens? Reframing isn't about pretending that it didn't happen, right? It's about a deep knowing that that happened and that's not going to define your future. At some point, growth requires us to stop trying to perfect that story and instead write our own story about what happens next, right? We keep the lessons and we let the rest go.